Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Two Vintage Sports Guys. I am your host, Joe Rendacci, back with another special guest while my other partner in crime, Paul, remains missing in action. But that's okay because it allows me to bring on special guests that are very well versed in the topic of each podcast. Today, I bring in my good friend and buddy, Alan Slater. Alan, give us a little quick bio on yourself.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for having me on the show. My name is Alan Slater. I am a rabid soccer fan or proper football fan, if you're British. Back in the day, I played, I coached, and I refereed. But out of those three, my favorite was being a goalie in high school, college, and after.
So goalie, that was it. What's the mentality of why somebody wants to be a goalie in either soccer or its ice equivalent hockey?
Well, as it was then and it is now, out of all 11 players on the field, goalies have to be a little bit crazy, running into danger. It's they're probably one of the more wacky personalities on the field.
Okay, well, you're kind of the complete opposite of that, but maybe you were crazier at the time when that
Oh,
happened.
I
I
assure
did
you I
ask a
was.
Yeah. Well, that's another podcast itself one day. I did ask a goalie back when I used to what you call it, be a ticket taker for the Islanders back in the 90s, just so I could get in and watch the games for free. I says, why? Why be a goalie? And the guy said, I like to feel like I'm the last line of defense to make the game, to save the game. So, did you feel like that yourself? Like it was all on you, the last line of defense?
Yeah, and that's only half of it. You're the last line of defense, and you, with the ball in your hands, you're the first line of offense as well.
Okay, I didn't think of it that way, but good enough. All right, so let's jump into. I know we'll get the magic brownie high of the World Cup is fading for most of us ADD Americans, right? We'll get to that in a bit, but let's just recap the last game. It was another go into overtime 0-0 with the only goal coming in the first 15-minute overtime. Give me your thoughts on that game.
Yeah. As you alluded to, Spain won the game 1-0 over Argentina. The decisive goal was by Ferran Torres in extra time in the 106th minute. Spain did a fantastic job. As close as that game may have been at 1-0, Spain dominated this game. They consistently exploited Argentina's right flank. Like any, even in a military sense, you're looking at your opponent's weaknesses, and for Argentina, that was the right flank. That was the weaker side of their formation. Um, to illustrate how dominant Spain was in this game, after 90 minutes, Argentina did not have a single shot on goal. That's how good Spain's defense was. And Spain maintained 65% possession through that first 90 minutes.
So, yeah, as you said, and I had done a podcast right after it about the stats were just chilling with like, no shots on goal at all, which is just again, we'll get to that. But even the what did you say, or did you say what was the passing percentage? I know it was like 2-1, Spain passing versus Argentina. Do you have the stat in
60
front of you?
Spain had 65% possession. That means they
Yeah.
really controlled the game. And a 1-0 game sounds close, but this was not close. And a lot of people, a lot of the pundits after the game, even before the game, was saying that Argentina's fortunate to be in this position because they have an older team and heat on older players, such as myself back in the day. Heat has some really difficult effects on the human body after 90 minutes, let alone 90 minutes plus an additional 30 minutes.
So I think I read where Argentina, I mean, basically they didn't have the well, I guess it depends how you look at it. They didn't have the greatest World Cup, but there they were in the final, minutes away from once again pulling it out potentially in penalty shots, which I think they were playing for, right? I think Spain was 1-5 in their last six penalty shot decisions, right? So obviously, I know after Spain scored, Messi had a few nice passes, right? Just missed. And who was it that hit the post for Argentina?
Oh, I don't recall off the top of my head.
Right. So it looks like they had more offense after they were behind than they did most of that game. So, like typical football or even hockey, do you think they were playing not to lose, and that's when you lose?
Right, right. Yeah, they were definitely after there was an event in the 93rd minute. Enzo Fernandez from Argentina got a second yellow card, and a second yellow card means an automatic red card. So Argentina in the 93rd minute went down to 10 men, meaning if you take off the goalie, that leaves 9 men. And Argentina went into what is called a low block, and to prevent Spain from getting another goal. And then Argentina's idea was stop them from scoring more and then try to get Spain on the counter. So a low block is where you take 9 men, you put a row of 5 men, fullbacks in front of the goal, and then you put four in front of that, closing the gaps between the back line of five, and you absorb pressure, get control of the ball, and then you try to counterattack. In Argentina, to my count, my memory, they did get two decent counterattacks going in that final, those two 15-minute halves, but it didn't amount to anything.
Yeah, and I think I don't want to say people are, well, maybe they are forgetting it because I just don't really hear much mention that they were down a man, which obviously in any sport is a big deal, right? It's definitely a big deal in hockey with power plays and penalty kills. Same thing. Again, soccer. But yes, I think overall Spain was the better team, deserved to win. No problems there. You had wanted to talk about something about what's happened since and as recent as today with fighting. Give
Yeah,
me
yeah,
a
yeah.
little inside info on that.
But once before we move into the discussion about what happened after the whistle, when Spain won, I do want to give a shout out to Argentina's goalkeeper, Emil Martinez. He was a fantastic shot stopper for Argentina. If it weren't for him, the game would have never gone past the initial 90 minutes. He was amazing. He only let one goal squirt in, but he had, I think, upwards of 10 critical shots stopped during the first 90 minutes. So a big shout out to him. He's fantastic.
All right.
So
Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Go ahead. Continue.
I have a special place in my heart for goalkeepers.
Uh,
Um,
as we've established.
yeah.
Continue.
So when the whistle blew, all the Argentina fans booed, and there were way more Argentinian fans at MetLife Stadium than there were Spanish fans. But what happened after the whistle blew, and as Spain, the bench players were coming onto the field to celebrate, Spain's captain, his name is Rodri, ran onto the pitch because he got subbed off before the end of the game. Rodri ran onto the pitch to celebrate with his teammates, and an Argentinian defender named Nahuel Molina punched Rodri in the stomach, and
Okay.
that got it started. Then a fight broke out at midfield where Argentina's Leandro Paredes grabbed Spain's Eric Garcia by the throat, and this was on video. Photographers got pictures of this, and in a matter of about 10 minutes, after 15 minutes after the game stopped, Argentina went from a World Cup hero, even though they did not win this game. They went from hero to zero in just a matter of minutes. And it was, to add insult to injury, Argentina turn their backs on the Spaniards when they were having their trophy and medals presented to them. It was just an abhorrent display of sportsmanship. And Joe, it was so bad that as of this week, 24 million people have signed a petition around the world to ban Argentina from the next World Cup.
Oh,
24 million people.
that won't happen either way, but that's a lot of people.
Yeah, Argentina will not be banned, but FIFA's still waiting to hand the punishment down for the players that were punching and kicking the Spanish players. And to add insult to injury, because the referee, I mean, it's just like a player on the field. You have to play your best in order to get onto the field of Spain or Argentina. And if you're not at your best, you're on the bench. Same thing goes for FIFA referees. So the FIFA referee is a guy named Slavko Vinik. He has been the most consistent and the best referee the entire World Cup because of all the grief that he got for letting the game get away from him with the fights that happened and the penalties that were never called. He actually ended up retiring from FIFA refereeing today.
Wow. Breaking
That's
news.
that is how bad the fallout from this getting out of hand has been.
Yikes. Oh, okay. Man, I didn't see that anywhere. It didn't pop up on my phone. I didn't really see anything about that. All right. Well, thank you for breaking that on the show. All right. Let's wrap this up with a little debate between me and you. You are a purist of the game, as you've described wanting to be a goalie from back in the day. I wouldn't know the soccer rules if like you fed them to me on a spoon. But as I watch the game, like most Americans, and we're all ADD in 2026 and have little patience for slow anything, how is this game not changed or adapted like other major sports in the US? And let me give you the example, and then you could give me your reply. People like to say I saw a British guy on ESPN talk about how well baseball can have 1-0 pitcher duels that you people, he's talking about us, love, in the US, which is a valid point, except I think that line was more valid 50 years ago than it is today. I don't think Gen Zers care about baseball like we did back in the day. I don't think many people can sit through 9 innings of baseball anymore. They just monitor scores on their phone and put it on if it's close or interesting or late in the game. So that's as far as baseball. I'll skip football because they've made a lot of changes. Basketball implemented a 3-point shot 50 years ago to make it more interesting, put more points on the board. And then hockey, closest equivalent to soccer, even though they haven't made major changes during the game. Don't forget, it used to be overtime used to be the same end in a tie, which used to drive everybody crazy. So what did they do? In overtime, they went to a 3-on-3 for 5 minutes, which opens the ice up, and a lot of games are decided there. And then if not, it goes to penalty shots for exciting. Somebody wins, right? And somebody loses. So that's my case for why don't they take at least one guy off the field in soccer during the whole game? And if you even don't like that, why not make the first 15-minute overtime sudden death? If you score, you don't need another 15 minutes. Or in that overtime, why not take at least one guy off the field? And again, open it up and try to make it a more exciting scoring. So that is my case, pleading onto the court. Debate all of it.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to sudden death, what you suggested. That's just not where they're at. Sudden death would make a lot more sense, especially when you're playing in 105-degree heat.
Amen.
When you go into extra time beyond 90 minutes, and you're in those 2 15-minute periods, the first team that scores wins. Done. Don't drag it out. But FIFA has instituted some new rules, every sport that you just mentioned, in the quest to have accurate calls, that's where the video assistant referee, or VAR, has come into play. They make a call. The video assistant can actually stop play from the booth and get the referee, the field referee, over to the side and say, "Hey, you missed this." So there's that effort, but there's also FIFA instituted this right before the World Cup. But as a lot of people know, soccer players, I think the official term is embellishment. When they take a little nick and they go down and writhe in pain on the grass, the unofficial, that's called embellishment by the referees. The fans call it flopping.
No, that's
And
called Academy Award-winning performances.
I'm not going to disagree with you. And by the way, the first person in the World Cup that got one of these red cards for flopping or embellishment was Atlanta United's captain. Um, oh my gosh.
And you call yourself an Atlanta United?
Miguel Almiron. He's our captain.
Kick saving a beauty. How's that?
He
Appropriate.
played for Paraguay, and Paraguay did a great job in the knockouts. They beat Germany, and Germany's a big soccer name, so hats off to them. But he got a red card for embellishment. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to create a situation where there's less flopping. If it is, they're going to get a yellow or maybe a red card. If somebody goes down for an injury, they give it the referee holds their hand up and gives them a 5 count, 5 seconds to get up, or they have to go off the field for a couple of minutes. Also, if the ball goes off the back line and the goalie's taking his time, wasting time to put the ball back in play to give the other team a chance, the referee holds up that hand and gives them a 5 count to get that ball kicked off. So they're trying to, in a baseball type of way, they're trying to speed up the game.
Okay. So there's acknowledgement that there should be something done to make this different. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, they're trying to listen. Soccer's an old game, very old game, and they've been slower to change compared to some of the other sports, but they're trying to accelerate the change and make it better for the fans.
So do other countries feel like I'm saying, or do they just think I'm crazy? That's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. It's the way it's always going to remain.
Joe, they think you're crazy.
Well, okay. So I probably should have framed that better. Outside of the context of regular life, for this soccer point I'm trying to make, do they agree with that generally, globally, or it's just fine the way it is, and you silly Americans and your ADD have no patience?
No, I think there's a general recognition around the globe that there is a need to make some changes in the game. Or if not changes, definitely some tweaks. And these rule changes that came into play right before the World Cup started, it's FIFA's attempt to fine tune the game, for this next period. And what I mean by period is the next 4 years between this past World Cup and the next one.
So let me throw you a curveball that maybe you know, maybe don't, just to mix metaphors on sports, because I don't know enough of it yet. So for FIFA and for I think it starts sometime late 27, that then the 3-year run of all the different conferences and play and games and plays and everything they have to do to be ready 4 years for the next cup. They're all under, I guess, one set of FIFA rules. Right? Is that correct? Okay.
Right.
So then my question is, for all the other types of leagues, a la MLS here in the US, I don't know all the different ones globally. Do all of those MLS and their equivalents across the globe have any different rules that are stark enough to mention? Or are they all the same?
Yes, they do have different rules, slightly. So in the U.S. and Canada, we've got MLS. In Mexico, we've got Liga MX. We've got EPL, European Premier League in the UK. You've got Bundesliga in Germany, etc. The rules are there are slight differences between all the different leagues, but when countries play, all those FIFA rules are the same globally.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But I guess what I was getting at, do you know of one different rule in any of those per country leagues that you think is stark enough that, let's just say, MLS should implement? Anything that makes the game quicker, faster, score more, or something?
The only thing that I know that's different over here compared to the rest of the world is the salary cap.
No, not the money, the game itself.
Yeah,
Just the
and the
game
game
itself.
in the game itself, yeah, I was trying to think. In the game itself, there's nothing that different.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
everybody plays two 15-minute overtimes and goes to the penalty shots. Everything's the same.
Well, no, the two 15-minute periods, if it's tied at the end of 90 minutes, that's only for World Cup because in a final you cannot have a tie. You have to have a first and second place.
Right, but there's this the two 15 minutes that are not sudden death. Is that the same in FIFA for the World Cup and all their different qualifying countries? Is that the same? Again, don't follow it enough.
Y-
MLS, what does MLS do? Same thing?
Yeah, in a final scenario, yes, I believe it is two 15-minute periods after the initial 90 minutes if it's tied. But that's in a final where you
What's it in
cannot
the
have a
regular
tie.
season?
It's not in the regular season, no.
Oh, I'm asking in MLS, what is it in the regular season at the end of the 90 minutes when it's tied?
Oh, well, it's similar to hockey. You lose, you get 0 points. You tie, you get 1 point. You win, you get 3 points.
Oh,
So,
okay. Like, so
so you
there's no
just
overtime. There's no
no,
overtime.
no, you just move on to the next game, and each team gets a point
Okay.
uh, until you
That's
get
bad
to the tournament.
1990s hockey. That's what they got to fix. That was what hockey was up until they implemented the 3-on-3 and then the shootout.
Um, well, that's a case where you're a lot more familiar with the hockey rules than I am. I
Yeah.
am.
So see,
Yeah.
I mean, ebony and ivory, we meet in the middle and we agree, and we did a great job there. And that's where we're going to end it on. Very good conversation. I want to thank Alan for joining us. He gave us a little breaking news on the little after post-game activities from what happened there. And we debated it. So I think you're kind of in agreement then that you wouldn't mind seeing some changes to maybe open it up a little more and present a little more scoring.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, your idea about taking, if you go past the first 90 minutes, taking a guy off of both teams, and then after 5 minutes taking another, that's very intriguing, Joe. You're ahead of your time, I think.
I'm intriguing. I can't spell intriguing without a spell check, but I am that. All right. All right. Anything else you want to say before we leave the crowd?
Just thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, bud. All right, guys, follow us and stay tuned for the next one of Two Vintage Sports Guys. Have a good one.